So, I met Alex in second grade, and we were instant best friends. Growing up, we would be basically just bond over being idiots over the years. From cruising in our friend's 1990-something Ford Escort, lowered, 18-inch rims, subwoofer instead of a back seat, to the late-night Walmart runs, where we would go buy airsoft rifles and then proceed to empty clips of tiny plastic pellets into each other, to the late nights we spent at our local pizza place, Vito's, where we would just argue about the dumbest shit, usually about what actor played what character in a TV show. This was far before Google. He'd say, "Shane, I don't know why he sounds like this. He doesn't sound like this. In my head, he sounds like this, but this is not his real voice, but I can't help but do it. Shane, what was the name of the main actor in Sliders?" Sliders? What the hell was Sliders? It was Jerry O'Connell. Was it Jerry O'Connell? You're an idiot. It was Jerry O'Connell. And our interactions would just go like this over the years. People would actually joke that when we graduated, we should have been voted cutest couple. We were not voted as cutest couple. I was voted cutest couple with my high school sweetheart. He was not, so haha, one for me. When we went to college, we remained close, even though we went to kind of separate places. Alex went to a fancy private school, and now this was not surprising. Alex came from a very well-to-do place, and he was in the gifted program. I was not in the gifted program, but I did end up graduating at a higher rank than he did, like upon graduation. So haha, eat it, gifted program. I, on the other hand, went to a state school that I loved, a state school that I chose, but a state school nonetheless. And when, about a year had passed in college, and Alex turned into a bit of a disaster. He drank too much, he partied too hard, and his parents pulled him out of his fancy private school and put him into a university a little bit closer to home so they could keep a literal eye on him. I, on the other hand, I was on the path to greatness, to become a scientist. I was going to do a degree in 4 years, take a year off and work in a lab, and then on to get my PhD in biology, the first PhD in my family, the only PhD among my friends, and I was going to get out of our podunk little town. I was stoked, and I loved Alex so much, but frankly, I was just doing better than he was, where he was flailing and literally failing. I was on to greatness. And then reality checked me hard. My first year of grad school was just bad. I did great academically. I had the grades, I was doing the research, I was doing the teaching, all of that stuff was going really well, but personally, socially, I was my own personal disaster. I was finding it really difficult to make friends. I ended a long-term relationship with my girlfriend, and I missed home. I missed that familiar. I missed Alex, and so I reached out to him. And at this point, somehow, he had gone from being Alex to he got this fancy new job in New York where he was now working at this big corporation. He was living in Hoboken. He just he had it all, and this just blew my mind. But when he first moved there, he had gone through something kind of similar. He found it really hard to adjust, but he had pulled through it. And so I asked him, how do you do this? And so we ended up talking every single night on the phone. On the phone. I don't know what I look like, but I am on the elder side of millennial. I hate talking on the phone, but we did it every single night, and it worked, and it pulled me through, and I am so grateful for that. And after I got over my shit, he invited me to come out and visit him, which I happily did. I pulled up to his apartment, and he's waiting for me outside, and he greets me with this big bear hug, which was lovely, but weird, because we didn't hug. We weren't those type of friends, but it was fine. I rolled with it. And he says, "Shane," again, I don't know why he sounds like this, but this is just what he sounds like. "Shane, I'm so glad you're here. This is going to be so great, and you'll finally get to meet Julia." Who the hell is Julia? Julia, it turns out, was Alex's new girlfriend. What I thought was gonna be a boys' weekend was slowly turning into a third wheel weekend. Now, I was not stoked about this revelation, but again, I rolled with it. And so that night, the three of us, along with a bunch of their friends, we go out. We go to some house parties, we go to some bars, we have a great time, and we end up at a pizza place out there to get some carbs and grease to abate the inevitable hangover. And so Alex, Julie, and myself, we are walking down the street, pizza in hand, and he looks at me and he says, "Shane, this pizza is so much better than Vito's from home, right?" No, Alex. No, it is not better than Vito's from home. It is not better than the pizza of my youth, the place in my mind that we spent so many great times, that I have such fond memories of. How dare you say that? No! I literally shouted at him. "You have said some dumb shit in your day, but that is the dumbest thing you've ever said." And then I stormed off. Like I literally just ran away down some random side street in Hoboken, New Jersey. I have no idea where I am. I have never been to this place before. I am just running away. Thankfully, somehow, I make my way to the stoop of his apartment, and an hour later, he and Julia find me very sheepish, but no worse for the wear. The next day, he and I go grab some coffee, grab some bagels. We're sitting on the water looking over into New York, and he says, "Dude, what the hell was that?" Oh, I got drunk, I was just being silly, and I just really love Vito's pizza. It wasn't about the pizza. I was angry. I was so mad that he was doing so well, that despite failing for so long, he was succeeding. Like, I was the one who did everything right. I was the one who should be happy. You know what? He didn't deserve it. That should have been me. And I hated that I felt that way. I should have been happy for him. And I was. I really was. And in time, I let him know that. And in time, I became happy for this as well. And I got over my stuff. When I decided to go get that PhD, I thought I was just better than Alex, that I was doing this noble pursuit of science. And I was just so focused on succeeding and just getting my way. And then things got tough. And I got sad. And that night, out to pizza, I was with him and his new girlfriend, and he had his fancy job where he was making so much more money than me with my pittance of a grad school stipend. Something just snapped. I was angry. I was pissed. I was jealous. And not jealous of him specifically, not jealous of what he had, just jealous that he seemed settled. He seemed comfortable. He was confident in what he was doing and in his own skin. He wasn't constantly second-guessing himself the way that I constantly was. He was just happy. He showed me that, well, thing one, I wasn't better than him, or frankly anyone, because of these letters or anything else, after that noise. But thing two, that just because things didn't quite go the way that I had planned things to go, that was okay. That there are many different ways, and many different paths, and many different ways that we can be happy. He taught me that, and it means more to me than he'll ever know. And he will never know, because there is no fucking way I am ever telling him. Thank you.